What's good, everybody? TakeKZ back here with another wrestling review. Today we're going to do the October top 10, with it being October, even though this is November 1st. I'm rocking my mystical mask in honor of Halloween. Let's just jump right into it. We got 12 matches overall here, so I got two honorable mentions. Kicking those off, we got Mai Sakurai versus Victoria Yakuza from the Marigold Show on October 26th. I thought this was a very good match. It really flirted with being great. Not a lot of bad to say about this match. I just felt like it was a little uneven. Some shots seemed really stiff and great, and then some just didn't really hit the mark, and I feel like that was just kind of the story of this match overall. A lot of good, some great, but the combination altogether just wasn't quite great. The other honorable mention I have is from the Dragon Gate show on October 12th. That was the team of Yuki Yoshioka and Dragon Daya of D-Courage defending their Twin Gate belts against Los Hermanos de la Jungla. Everything you would expect from a typical Dragon Gate match. High-octane offense. The Jungle Brothers here coming off that Dragon Gate USA match, which was phenomenal. Got a short little tour here in Japan. This was their best match of the tour. Nothing quite clicked like it did in April against the Lucha Solos. That's a match I think they've done a million times. Everything on this tour was their first time match against these Dragon Gate guys. So the chemistry was a little off, but overall this is very fun, very fast-paced match. I think it's worth checking out, even though it's not quite great. I went 3 1/4 on this, as well as that last match. Coming in at number 10, you had Kento Miyahara defending the Triple Crown belt against Ghost Shiozaki from the All Japan show on October 22nd. This was my first time watching Shiozaki, I believe. I'm getting into these other Japanese companies besides Dragon Gate and New Japan this year. So I was very excited to check this out. These guys are two of the big stars of All Japan. Shiozaki coming just back from Noah, that had previous stops in this company. I thought this was really good. I just didn't quite like the flow of it. I felt like it just never quite hit that next level. The finishing stretch was nice, but it just felt like a gear short here the whole match to me. I went 3 3/4 on this. This was very good. Coming in at number 9, you have the 4-way tag team match from this previous Dynamite on October 29th between FTR, Jetspeed, Young Bucks, and Jurassic Express. This was a PWG party match in kind of the finest order here. I don't really have anything bad to say about this. The two big takeaways from this that prevented me from going 4 stars here, I think, were just the commercial breaks hurt the flow of the match for me. And then FTR kind of botched the Shatter Machine at the end of the match. Took a little too long to set up, I think, which just kind of killed the momentum and buzz. I feel like this is really the only botch of the match, but with it being the finish, it really hurt. I went 3 3/4 on this as well. Next up, coming in at number 8, is our first 4-star match of the month. And this was from the Noah Magic Monday show on October 6th. And it was the Marvelous versus Marigold team. Maya Iwatani, Seri Yakamoto, Utami, Hayashishita versus Momono, Senka Akatsuki, and Temuka Aroe. This was very good. I didn't know that this was Marvelous versus Marigold watching it. Knowing it after the fact kind of makes sense of what the finish was. All 3 of these women were really great. This match had plenty of time. Everyone kind of got to show what they were great at. I just felt like the finishing stretch of this match was a little flat because you had the young stalwart from Marvelous going against the young stalwart from Marigold for an extended period of time, all the way to the finish of this match. So it was a bit more of a showcase for those two instead of getting to watch all 6 flourish. With me being unfamiliar, more or less, with all these women, I wanted to see a little bit more of the other 4 women. But I understand what they were going for, and I think the spotlight on the 2 youngsters worked really well. I went 4 stars on this. Coming in at number 7 was Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks from AEW Wrestle Dream on October 18th. This was really the first Jurassic Express tag team match back. I think they worked a 6-man with Kenny Omega against the Don Callis family, and maybe did like a squash match before this, but this was their first real comeback match. I thought this match started really slow, and I thought for the first third to maybe even the first half, this is going to be like a sub 3-star match. They really spent a lot of time building up the epicness of this, which almost didn't work for me. I was almost checked out, and then this match finally got to 2nd, 3rd, 4th gear and became your kind of standard great Young Bucks match. I mean, I've been a Young Bucks fan for over a decade, so I've seen like 100 of these. They're still always great every time. What the heck? You guys all right? I've seen like 100 Young Bucks matches overall. They always are great, so I don't really have anything bad to say about this. It's just hard to recommend the Young Bucks match when their catalog is so great. But this did everything it needed to for Jurassic Express. Kind of showed them back on this level right out the gate, which the AEW tag team division really needs if you've watched my previous video about the AEW hierarchy. Coming in at number 6 was the IWGP World Heavyweight title match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Konosuke Takeshita on October 13th. I watched this match on vacation, so I just happened to wake up live in my hotel in Chicago and flip this on and managed to catch the whole match. I thought it was really great. My memory on it is pretty murky, so I don't have a lot to say about this. It's just two of the best in the world doing what they do best. 4 stars might be underselling it a little bit, but waking up at like 4 a.m. to watch this and haven't gone back to really rewatch it. They just play the hits. They do what they do best. I thought it was about as good as their G1 semifinal match. I think the rating on it on Cage Match is a little higher. But this is great. If you're a fan of either of these guys, you won't be disappointed in this. I want 4 stars on this as well. Coming in at number 5 from that same show, I have Syuri versus Sareee for the IWGP Women's title match. I watched this on the plane back. I didn't want to interrupt the podcast, so I just watched this match on mute. A lot of the complaints I saw on this match was the crowd wasn't into it. I obviously didn't have that effect without watching it with any noise at all. Filled in the blanks in my memory from their previous 2 matches. So the striking all really worked because it looked crisp without sound. So I imagine it sounded crisp. I like these two working with a time limit. Although the first match from the beginning of this year was my favorite of the 3. All 3 outings are very strong. They didn't get to do the epic they did in Stardom here, which I think helped, that they just worked more of like a standard like 15-minute match, which I think a lot of great matches are lacking. I feel like a lot of modern wrestlers think they have to go 30, 40 minutes to have a great match. These two, I thought, did it in 15 minutes. Again, playing the hits, you get all the kind of best that these two have to offer. Hard striking, crisp offense. I went 4.25 on this. Coming in at number 4, you have the GHC Tag Team title match between Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane defending against Daga and Daiki Odashima. I really like this tag team, Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane. They're the main reason I always want to go back to watch Noah. Their stint in Dragon Gate really impressed me, and I want to see more of these guys, and they didn't disappoint here. Daiki Odashima looked like a young boy. I don't really know anything about him, but he got the shine at the end of this match. I feel like Daga and Wolf and Bane really carried this as the 3 Mexicans. I think they were calling all the shots and just programmed Daiki to get a couple shine here and there, including the end of the match. But this is just what these guys do. They mix that Lucha Puro really well. They're really crisp and rough with their offense, which you don't see from a lot of Lucha guys, which I think really makes them stand out. And the Lucha Libre aspects are really solid as well. So I feel like they're like the perfect mix and the perfect like modern wrestler. I feel like they really fly under the radar. This looked like one of their highest rated matches of the year on Cage Match, so I would definitely recommend this if you haven't seen them before. I think their tag match against Luis Monte and Flamita, this earlier from this year, was my favorite before this. I think I went the same rating, 4.25. But I feel like this was their home territory, so this really showed what they do all together. Coming in at number 3, you had Mayu Iwatani versus Io Shirai from the Marigold Show on October 26th. This is 2 of the best women, if not the 2 best women in the world doing what they do best. I do kind of agree with Dave Meltzer that a lot of this match just kind of felt like moves for doing the sake of it. But when the offense is as clean and as perfect as these 2, it doesn't really hurt the match. It felt a little long. It felt stuck in second gear for a long time for me. But those are really my only complaints. I guess the momentum was kind of sloppy for me too. I couldn't feel the ebbs and flows of the match really. It just kind of felt like it was just 2 cool people doing cool shit. But that's one of the best parts of wrestling. So even as a complaint, it's not a real complaint. I went 4.25 on this. Final 4.25 match is the number 2 match of the month. And that was Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher from AEW Wrestle Dream. These 2 just feel like wrestling soulmates at this point. This was their 5th encounter, and it doesn't feel like their last of the year. I think Full Gear, we might get a 6th match between these guys. But I think I'm 4 stars and over on all of them. So it's hard to complain, even though it does start to get a little boring. I thought this was their best outing of the 5. You kind of play the hits and the recalls of everything, but add a little bit more to it. They hit all their signature offense well. They can know each other's beats perfectly at this point. I would recommend this match if you haven't seen any of the 5, but if you've seen any of the 5 prior to this, not a whole lot different here. And then coming in at number 1 was the tag team match from AEW Wrestle Dream, the tag team champions of Brody King and Bandido versus Takeshita and Okada. This is 3 of the best workers in the world, and Brody King, who's not bad himself. Guys mesh perfectly well. You have the luchador and Bandido, someone that trained in Lucha Puro and Okada, actually, who's just kind of a savant of everything, and Brody King the same way as that, a jack of all trades. And I think they all played their roles perfectly here. You knew storyline was going to be an issue of this match going in with the Okada and Takeshita tension, but I thought they played that perfectly with it really only coming into effect in the end, and it didn't really affect the ending. You still got a clean finish overall. And you just got Bandido, Takeshita, and Okada are all in the running for like my wrestler of the year. Takeshita's got a pretty healthy lead, so I don't think Bandido and Okada are catching him. But when you got 3 of the 5 to 10 best guys in the world, of course this match is going to be 4.5 stars. And that's what it was. All right, guys, thanks for checking me out. I got a couple videos planned here for the rest of the week as well. I've been playing with an idea of what I would do with RO for a while in my mind. I've posted it on Discords and various websites in the past. Formulate like an actual business plan and make that a video theme. You also got a busy week in Dragon Gate coming up. All 4 Dragon Gate belts. Well, no, actually all 5, because they're bringing the Onwari belt back, are being defended this weekend. You got 3 title matches tonight and then the other 2 on Sunday. We roll right into King of Gate after that. So I think I'm going to review those shows and do a King of Gate preview probably Tuesday of next week. That ROH video might come out in the next few days, or it might be a week delay, but I think I'm going to do that as well. I've kind of been enjoying doing this extra wrestling content besides just wrestling match reviews. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know what matches you think I missed. I think I pretty much watched everything of October. I'm back in the groove. It was a pretty light October for Dragon Gate, so I dipped my toe into a lot of other companies that I hadn't been doing the last couple of months since Dead or Alive. But if there's anything you disagree with or think I missed, let me know in the comments below. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.